Hey, thanks for joining us on The Broken Dead. Today we are talking The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 5. We've got some, I was about to say some Walking Dead. We've got some news, teasers, and speculation about what's to come for you. And this is The Broken Dead. Hey guys, this is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
This is Quin.
And we just want to say thanks for joining us today, whether you're new to the show or returning. We're glad to have you along for the ride, and we hope that you'll join us live on YouTube every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know the time change is probably throwing everybody off, but we are sticking to what is now 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also have the FOMO Show every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon.
Ding.
That way you know when we drop a new video. Do the same for the FOMO Show. That way you know when we post a new video on there. Podcast listeners, please leave us 5 stars in your podcast app.
Sorry. I was trying to pull it up just so I could see chat if I needed to.
And check out the website at www.broken.picturesnow.com.
All right, so spoiler alert. Oh, my bad. I usually do it on the FOMO Show after.
It's cool. Probably would have did it better because I don't feel the greatest, but I feel good enough. Just so you all know, very soon there will be well, we don't have a bell or anything. We should get a bell for this one. Let them know that, if you haven't seen it, this is your only warning because from this point forward is spoilers for episode 5 of The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, in Walking Dead news, just a little bit of information. Last week, Michael Cutlitz was on the couch for The Talking Dead, and he revealed that he is also he directed the episode last week, but he's also going to direct episode 7 of this season, and he's going to direct some for the new show coming out, which they still haven't named. So, yeah, that's going to happen. And so Angela Kang also recently teased that Lauren Cohan would return as Maggie in season 10 and not just for season 11.
Okay.
Personally, I thought that was going to happen anyway because at the beginning, when they were still writing out season 10, we were waiting to hear what was going to happen with her show and stuff like that. Angela Kang said that they had the story written with Maggie in it, and they didn't have a plan B. That's how it was going to be. Okay. And that she had been talking to Lauren Cohan and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know if that changed or what. So, I mean, I'm expecting her to come back for season 10B, the second half.
Second half, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's obviously coming back in full force for season 10. And this was also the first episode without Michonne, come to think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap, it was.
Yeah.
It's full on Negan.
Mm-hmm. So, as far as that goes, no big reveals about what's going on in the Walking Dead universe or anything like that, or season 10,
Yeah.
As far as I could tell, if you guys know anything, let us know in the comments, and I'm sure everybody watching would love to know that. So, as far as this episode, before we get into the discussion, let's rate it and see what you guys thought.
I finally get to say it because this is actually happening. I'm going to give this episode 9.5 little piggies out of 10. It's probably my favorite episode of the season, mostly just because it was so much Negan. It was ridiculous how much Negan there was. And I like the way that they're going with it, like from him escaping. And we all, and also, what's his name, Brandon?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Haven't had a good crazy person in a while. So.
I finally got a death, too.
Yeah, like that was fun. That was fun to have a nice crazy person.
Yeah, I'm going to be right along there with you and give it just a 9 out of 10. No crazy rating for me, but really enjoyed the episode. Really enjoyed the pacing of the episode. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say 9 out of 10. Also, I mean, I mean, it didn't have just like a jaw dropping, just like, oh my gosh, that's the only reason I'm not doing 10. But I'm really close. Like you said, like 9.5. I thought it was a great episode. Just like everything we've been wanting to see, and it feels like we've been building, and boom, we're here, and it's about to go down.
Clap, bow.
Yep.
Wow.
So I guess 9 out of 10 Lucille 2.0s. I guess I don't know.
Oh my goodness!
Boom.
It was.
The Negan is released.
It is. He is. And before we, I guess, get into the discussion, let's do this episode intro.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah. Is that the right title?
This one.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's not
That's
the
not
right
the right title.
Okay. What was the name of this episode? Negan, welcome
I forgot
back.
to change it. No, What It Always Is.
What It Always Is?
Yeah.
Okay. Episode 5. What It Always Is. Wait.
That's the right description.
That's
Yeah,
right
the description
description?
is correct.
Okay.
We see last week
Okay.
we didn't do the description for next week, and that's where we messed
that's
up.
why.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, what? Because it said everything that happened, But
What It Always Is. Supplies go missing from Hilltop. Negan is idolized by an Alexandrian, and Ezekiel holds a secret. Yeah, which that was super sad.
for sure,
Should we start there and then work our way to Negan?
might as well.
All right. So Ezekiel's dying, like super
Yeah.
dying.
Oh my gosh! If anything else could happen to this dude,
like I completely see how he's gonna die now, and it's not
piling
from
it on.
not from the thing on his neck, but from him like, well, I done lost my son, I done lost my wife, I done lost my kingdom, and I got cancer. So
Which totally explains last week where he's about to swan dive off the dock or whatever it was.
yeah, so it's like, well, blaze of glory, here we go.
Yeah.
That's the only way he's gonna die. I feel like now, because not only have they been kind of building him up, it just feels like, dang, I'd kind of just mercy killing at this point.
Yeah, man, for such a strong, favorite character, to see him go out with the fizzle like that is such a tragedy.
Yeah,
I don't know why y'all are talking about him like he's already dead.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
he's gonna
well,
die.
I mean,
He is going to die, but we don't know how he's going to die. He
That's
might
true.
take one last kind of strap some bombs on, walk into the horde. Like, you don't know what he's going to do.
that's true. And I mean, there was a tweet or something they read on the Talking Dead. Somebody said that he could potentially be healed if they go to Commonwealth. If Maggie comes in, it's like, oh my God, Ezekiel, hey, let's get you here.
They
We
could,
can
but
take care of this.
They're not gonna.
I'm not gonna.
I mean, they did drop the fact that it was like 98% survival rate, in the real world or
real
whatever.
world.
Maybe they will, but also I loved the pacing of the episode except for that. That he starts coughing at the beginning of the scene, and by the end of the scene we know that he has cancer. Like, there was no build up to it. He wasn't coughing last week when we saw him with Michonne.
Yeah, that's true.
It just seemed like really, really sudden, and he said it's been a month.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like we've seen him multiple times, and they had no symptoms, no nothing.
Yeah, and
I didn't really like the
I think
pacing
it's
with
just-
that.
I mean, I feel like it has gotten worse over time because time passes between each episode.
that growth was massive.
Yeah.
And he's like wearing a handkerchief on his neck or whatever.
A handkerchief?
Handkerchief. Excuse me.
That's a handkerchief if I ever saw one.
One heck of a chiff.
Has he been wearing it the whole time?
I don't know. I mean, last week. Okay, so the tree fell last week, and he got disturbed and left. And now the tree's still there. They're still chopping it up. So it hasn't even been a week.
Yeah.
So
And Negan's like
Since
fresh
last
off
week.
of just running
Yeah.
away, so
like with parallel stories, you can kind of shift the timeline a little bit, but
Not
but-
necessarily because Daryl just arrived at
That's right.
Hilltop looking for him.
That's right. Good point.
so maybe we should go back and see if he's been wearing this since the beginning of the season. I think
don't
he
know.
has.
I sure hope so.
Otherwise, that's a big plot hole.
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
He's walking around just naked neck.
I'm
Like nothing's
super
going
sorry
on.
if we just pointed out a plot hole. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, we weren't going for that, but
No.
it wouldn't be the first time either.
Nah, what year is it in this show?
Right?
Yeah, season 10. 10 years.
But so go ahead.
Talking about pacing, I did like the pacing of this going on with Connie and Daryl. It seemed really like we have gotten like touches of like, ooh, Connie maybe could like Daryl like since the beginning of the season, and we have yet to experience anything that's like hardcore information that they really like each other. And I appreciate that they're like actually developing this over time, and they're not just, we're supposed to assume that they're in love with each other, kind of like Sasha and Abraham were just like trying to make a baby all at once, you know, like
like all of a sudden.
all of a sudden they're in love and they're, you know, all these things. And so I appreciate the pacing with Connie and Daryl. I am starting to ship them more episode after episode because they are just kind of cute.
Slow burn.
They're a little family.
Oh.
I didn't, however, like that they used Kelly in the woods to propel the story that Magna was stealing and putting it aside. Like, the only reason that Kelly got trapped out there was to propel that plot.
I don't know. They're also propelling the plot that she is going deaf, that she's losing her hearing.
Which is fine, but when they found her, she was like, I wasn't okay, but I am now. But she was also so hurt that they couldn't even get her back to Hilltop first. And if she was worried about, like, the situation, she would have just been like, no, I'm fine. Don't tell them about our stash because we're going to get in trouble and we've been lying. Just take me back if I'm fine.
That was kind of weird.
It
was a little
felt
weird.
contrived.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do get Magna being, because we said since the beginning that she's more like the Rick of the group. Like, she's got a plan B. She's got an exit strategy. So I think that falls in line with her character.
Yeah.
But man, did they blow up her and Yumiko's relationship. Like,
yeah, they blew
her
that.
Magna, 13 years, and this whole time, Yumiko thought she was defending an innocent person.
Yeah.
Man, that
was kind of sad.
just like last episode, beginning of last episode, they were still getting it, you know?
Yeah.
It was just like, and then that unraveled quick.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, I need you to go. Is that what you do when you break up with somebody in the apocalypse? Just, will you please go sleep somewhere else now?
She did it so nicely.
Even like last episode when she told her, I'm sick of you acting like my lawyer or something like that, Lydia was like, did she just break up with her? And I was like, I don't think so yet.
Yeah, it was confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily, I feel like, again, a little bit contrived for me. I know I always nitpick the show apart, but it almost feels like they only broke them up to put Yumiko with someone else. Like Alden?
Or...
I mean, is she bi? Is she not?
She could be. You never know. What labels?
I'm just saying.
Yeah. They haven't established that she wasn't.
But I mean, Alden's just going to be with the next leader of Hilltop again? Like, I mean, she's the de facto leader. I mean, which is weird that she's de facto leader. But I get it because Ezekiel's taking a back seat or whatever.
I don't get it at all.
Well, I mean, who else is there that, that has
Alden.
leadership qualities? I don't think Alden.
He's a little too depressed right now, but...
Yeah,
I don't
he
think
wasn't so... I feel like they're doing a lot of things because, like, the conversation that Alden and Earl had, that's his name, Earl.
Yeah.
Earl's like, don't let this stuff happen again, and Alden's about
Which
to be like...
was in the extended episode.
Yeah, there was... Did you watch the extended?
I did watch the extended episode.
They had an extended episode for episode 3 and now episode 5.
Odd numbers?
And a little extra info there about Earl's backstory and being in the war and stuff like that.
So, and like that little insight there is like, well, maybe now Alden's gonna be like, no, we shouldn't we shouldn't like try to work with anybody. We just need to take out the whispers if we ever get the chance, because he don't let it happen again.
Yeah, and he named the baby Adam, so it's like the rebirth of man or whatever.
But it was also really rude of Earl to just be like, have you forgotten? Or he's like, dude, They killed my girlfriend. I think about it every stinking day.
Yeah, but they killed his wife too.
Yeah, his wife.
Exactly, but he should
years.
know how he feels.
Yeah.
He should know that that's all he can think about.
And that's probably why he said it. Because he might be oh, my hands look weird. He might be thinking of the baby. And it's like, well, I got to take care of this baby, so I'm not finna just go out here and fight. And also, I'm old.
Maybe I'll talk you into going for me.
Yeah.
Like, you're young.
Even though, have you ever shaken the hand of somebody that works with their hands like that?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
he's got to be a
stone.
rock. Yeah.
It hurts sometimes.
I'm sure, like, if anybody got hit by Earl, they would go down.
Yeah. So, but he's like...
Alden, too, now, because he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah. And they have, besides, like,
That was a
Yumiko...
freaking javelin. Crying out loud.
Yumiko's there. They're making her seem like she's really trying to take on that leadership role, even though that she's not really saying like she wants to. She just knows like it needs to be done, and doesn't seem like anybody else is here that can do it. He's like, I've been in that situation before. I can do it.
Yeah, and the actress was on Talking Dead. We did get to watch Talking Dead, actually, but she said, because somebody asked her if she was the new leader, and she said, well, I think it's more democracy. Mm-hmm. And just with the tree fall and everything, she just kind of stepped up.
Yeah.
So I guess that answers that a little bit, maybe. But
I don't think she's trying to be the new leader, but it doesn't matter what they're trying to be. They're painting it like she is.
Well,
Yeah.
I think maybe just you and her are cut from the same cloth. You're people who step in and get things done.
And that's true, and that's great and fine, but if they don't want her to be viewed as the leader, then they need to stop making it look like she's the leader, especially setting Ezekiel up to die. I mean, they're not setting anybody up to take his spot.
Okay, that was my other thing. So with them this is a comics thing. So in the comics, Magna used to have her own group, and she was the leader of that group. Yumiko was kind of more of a side character, but this one they kind of made Magna seem like, she's the Rick of the group, but at the same time, she's more like in Daryl's position, and Yumiko used to be in Rick's position. And I feel like they're playing these two off of each other and up so much is because one of them's probably going to die.
Yumiko.
Yumiko? I think it might be Magna.
I don't know.
I think that they're going to give Yumiko a new partner, whoever, Alden, whoever, and then they're going to kill her.
But if they give Yumiko a male partner, there's going to be so much outrage, like fan outcry.
Super.
It's like, oh, you killed a gay person and now took her lover and made her straight. Like, yeah, that's not going to go fly. That's not going to fly over very well.
Okay.
So I don't see that happening, just personally. It's possible that one of them could absolutely die. Maybe Yumiko, because they're making Magna so unlikable, she would be the one to survive and grow out of this,
Yeah, give her like a redemption story afterwards. It would be the easiest way. Yeah. Because Yumiko has she's probably at the top, as high as she's going to be, besides just saying she's like, oh, she's going to be the new leader of Hilltop now. And it would just be kind of plateauing her. Magna at the bottom, lowest, been stealing. People know she's been stealing. Daryl doesn't trust her, which means Daryl's going to tell Michonne. Michonne's not going to trust her. And
Michonne already don't trust her. She found the prison tats, remember?
Yeah, so, like, she's at the bottom of the barrel. Like, under her is, like, the bottom of the barrel. Then there's Dirt. Then there's Lydia. Then currently...
Not me. The one in the show.
Yeah, the one in the show. And then, like, Negan's, like, in the
he's
lava.
Out.
Yeah, he's just
ran
out.
Away.
So, but, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, well, in the comics, too, like you said, she's kind of a leader. She's like the militia leader.
She's one of the leaders of the groups of the group, faction. So militia, army, she's more like the captains in the militia that fight the Whisperers in the Whisper War and everything. Yeah. So, they haven't said they got a full-on militia. It's kind of, we got this just in case we need it. But no one said anything about it.
So does the militia thing happen before, after, or during the Whisperer War?
during the Whisperer War. They formed
Okay.
the militia to fight the Whisperers.
Okay, that's what I was wondering because it seems like that would be like the next step. It's like, okay, well, this is necessary now.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't really feel like a war right now, but we got confirmation on this episode that the tree and the waves of walkers that have been coming in are the Whisperers doing this. So when Alpha is talking to her democracy group there, she confirms, like, hey, these little nicks or whatever, like, we are doing these things on purpose. I liked that scene a lot more than I normally like the Alpha scenes. But I thought it was a little bit crazy that dude was going to stab her.
Yeah, like
was-
he seemed awful bold.
He
Yeah.
straight up was going to stab her.
Well, I mean, he ain't gonna, like, I wouldn't just, like, let somebody cut my legs. Like, oh, well, now I know what's coming next. It's gonna be a knife right in the back
But
of
can
my
you
head.
imagine
Like, he
if
wouldn't
he
even, like,
had...
Trying to crawl away or nothing.
Can
Yeah.
you imagine if he had actually succeeded, though?
He would have just became the new Alpha.
I don't know. Beta would have
Broke
ripped his
leg
head off.
Alpha.
I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Beta's like, I'm the captain now.
Yeah. I feel like we got a lot of backstory this episode. We got
Yeah.
backstory with Daryl, Yumiko Magna, Earl, if
Yeah,
you
not-
watch the
not
extended
fake-
episode.
Not fake backstory with Daryl.
Yeah, not lies. Not well, not necessarily
Dreams.
lies, but yeah. Negan and Lucille.
I do feel like, although I do like the creepier version, like, I don't know. I was noticing, like, with the Whisperers, like, we don't see a whole lot of them like we saw of the Saviors. You know what I mean? Like, we're seeing a lot more character development with our main characters, our main cast. And the Whisperers are just kind of like peppered in here and there with this one. And to a certain extent, I might think that was purposeful to make them more mysterious. But when we do see them, like, we're seeing some really behind the scenes stuff going on with her
Yeah.
and Beta, Alpha and Beta, and their backstory and things like that. So I don't know. Like, I mean, it just seems kind of inconsistent because in one scene we see Alpha's public face and she's creepy and conniving and in control, and then we see behind the scenes, but it's so, and she's, you know, vulnerable and lying and not who she should be, you know, for her public face. But they're so spaced out, it almost just seems like we're watching two different people, you know.
She has split personality disorder.
Does she?
That's what I'm assuming that they keep playing on.
I think you said that a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
too.
Like they keep playing on it this way, and I feel like it's on purpose, just like set up like she has a mental disorder.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm not sure which one.
Oh.
But
I'm gonna say split personality
Turns
disorder.
out Beta's not even real. The whole time it's just been her in her head thinking that he's not.
she's just got one massive arm that she dominates everybody with. That's her Beta.
But also, like, the whispers being peppered in there throughout the season and everything. Gamma, we got a good look at, and she's not as stable as, you know, anybody thought. She keeps killing her guardian, and just every time she does, she's just imagining, like, oh, I should have just went ahead and stabbed Alpha in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Aaron shows up and trying to reach out to her or whatever. And this is like the first time this season that we've seen like Aaron be Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
It was, considering he was like, I'm going to punch Negan in the face with my fist.
Yeah, and he's just like
Mace.
"Rrr," the whole time, and then he's just like he's out by himself, so he's like, I'm gonna be nice again.
It almost also feels like a long con for Aaron. Like, while Beta or Alpha thinks that she's using Gamma to play Aaron, I think really Aaron is not stupid. He's playing his cards right.
Yeah, Aaron, like, I don't think they give Aaron enough credit based on what he actually used to do by like going out and getting new people for their community and stuff like that. Like, Aaron's a badass. And like I mean, I know a lot's happened to him as far as like his arm and, you know, losing his lover and things like that. Of course, that happens to everybody in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think he's given his due as far as like, yeah, he's one of the leaders because he's been there, but man, I would really like to see more of Aaron stepping up and in that leadership role and really being able to hold his own and you know, like implement a plan like that where he's totally in control and he knows how people work and how to play them and get the best out of them and things like that.
And then see it play out over time, and then it comes together in this climactical, that's not a word, like situation was like, oh snap, you just played into my hand the whole time.
Yeah, because remember when he found Rick's group, he had been following them and watching them for a while to find out what kind of people they were.
Yeah.
And if you watch the extended episode, Gamma goes back after her conversation with Alpha and talks to Aaron again and brings back the rest of the wrap, ace bandage type stuff, tosses it over to what I'm guessing is a border marker that he's guarding at this point, because like a pile of rocks with like a flag type thing sticking out of it. That he's kind of pacing back and forth past.
Yeah, they didn't really explain like why he was there hanging out other than just to watch her like poison the water hole.
Yeah, which he didn't address.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a radio, so he's not like radioing back saying what's going on or anything. Yeah. So she comes back and he is trying to figure out where she's from. So he takes a real Zombieland approach to it and is like, California, that's where you're from. I can tell by your accent. And she's like, I don't have an accent. And he's like, duh. Because you're from California. But he's only heard her say, 4 or 5 words max? It's like, that seemed really...
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just how good he is. And they're actually giving him that
Ross
role.
Marquand, sure. But they have established nothing for Aaron.
I'm saying, like, the backstory is there. I just don't think they're fleshing it out. You know, and putting it on display like they should.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're getting backstory, but it's not the backstory that requires the story to propel further, you know?
I mean, Aaron's backstory, like, you know, being like, hey, I used to do this, and I can read people really well.
That's what I'm saying, that they haven't done that.
Oh.
And we're getting backstory for Earl in extended episodes that does nothing.
So, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
We're just left to assume.
Yeah, exactly.
How many seasons later?
Right.
Right.
And like
Gotcha.
it seems, which I mean, granted, his interaction with Gamma was an extended episode thing too, so I can understand why they cut it. I'm not really enjoying the extended episode pieces as much because I feel like if I were a fan watching the normal episode and I didn't have access to the extended episode, I'd be a little pissed off that there was stuff that they shot, filmed, and thought was worthy enough to go in the episode that I don't get to see.
Yeah, well, and also, I mean, they don't want to put in too much that changes, like, the whole plot.
But what is canon? What's not?
Exactly.
It's confusing.
It's just I don't know, it's just a little extra taste. Just like the DVD extras, you know, the commentary and all that kind of stuff that sheds a lot of light on things that you would normally get. You know, it's the same type of thing where it's like, oh, if you're going to pay for the extra premiere thing, then you're going to get a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I like that this was a really gory episode. It was really, they're getting back to the type of filming where the walkers are actually sneaking up on people.
Yeah.
I mean, they took over Negan. Like, we're not hearing any crunching or anything beforehand. And it's very horror type, like, da-na-na, kind of like feeling of scared. I really did like that in this episode. Laura Beasley directed this episode. This was her second episode to direct. She also directed The Calm Before, which was the Pikes episode.
Ooh. Wow, that's a big one to direct. The first one.
Dang.
Wow.
Congrats.
And I said her last name wrong. I'm sorry. Pam Beasley got me thinking that your last name is Beasley. It's Belzy is her last name. Sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of the sneaking up thing, I don't. They didn't really go into detail. It might be a plot hole with the walker sneaking up on Kelly, and then she's like dazed and out of it, and then we find her again. There's no walker
not
body.
Not covered in more blood.
Yeah, she's not in a different location. They just like almost like it didn't happen. Bless you.
Thank you.
You know, so I mean, and she's
I thought she was in a different location.
Was
She
she-
was in a
was
different
she?
spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe she like
It's 'cause-
killed it and escaped or something.
I mean,
But
probably
again, we're left to
escaped.
assume.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what... Or... I don't think if she was, like, even, like, still enough or kind of passed out that the walker would have just kind of, like, passed her.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
straight up reaching for her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, you're not going to see every little detail, but when you're using something to build up tension, like you have to. I mean, you have to pop the bubble. You have to explain what happened.
Or at least like make it very obvious that she got into a tussle and cover her in
Exactly.
more blood.
I mean that's drama 101. If you bring a gun onto stage, the gun has to go off.
Yeah.
Whew.
But what else happened with that?
Negan. We haven't talked about the
At
whole
all.
kid
We'll get
situation, the whole
there, yeah.
Brandon
Yeah.
freak situation.
Was it
So...
oh my
Nut
God,
tapping.
nut
That was
tapping.
so awkward and
So weird.
unnecessary.
But it was so Negan at the same time.
So
How old
let's...
is that kid though?
Which
Judith's
kid?
age?
I live
Yeah.
probably.
What
maybe
he's
a
talking
little
about, like,
older.
yo, you don't even have to use roids or whatever. It's like, this kid doesn't know what an airplane is.
He doesn't know what
Or-
roids are.
Yeah.
He was born in the apocalypse. If he doesn't know what that is, then he doesn't know what anything you're saying. He doesn't understand the context of it. It was only to be a Negan type bonding experience.
To try to force the whole Carl
Yeah.
feelings.
And to
come
make
out.
him to make the remorse that he felt when Brandon kills him justified.
Yeah.
I think Brandon was more than just a crazy Negan fanatic.
You think so?
I think Brandon was. They use Brandon for a growing point for Negan
Right.
because he kept doing the old things like the whistling.
Oh yeah,
the,
and he just kind of get cringy about it, like
little pig, and all that, and then it's like. This dude now completely and utterly represents everything I used to be, and worse, because you just killed a kid.
Yeah,
So
and I hate it.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I loved that aspect of like giving him an option and him deciding not to take it. But then at the very end, of course, he gets the jacket and everything. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same version of Negan that we've got. Like he's been through a chrysalis. Like he's emerged different.
And I think he only necessarily picked it up because he's decided I'm going to go back and try and kill the Whisperers. And to do that, I have to be able to manipulate them in a way that they think I'm the old Negan.
Well, I don't think they have any reference point of what the old Negan is
No.
either, though.
But
That's true.
he could.
Well, we don't know that.
Yeah, they could have been watching during the entire war if
Yeah.
they've been around. They just might not have the strength, or just have been waiting. But
Why
don't
get
think-
involved when they'll kill each other themselves?
yeah. But I think
Except a huge time jump after the.
yeah, unless they're watching. I mean, they could have been watching the whole time, and we just not know. Like those giant herds that they when Rick was around that Eugene was naming, could have been the Whispers.
Or maybe he picked it up because, one, he needed a weapon, and two, why would you be Connie and just roll out there with no sleeves, no nothing on to protect you from the things that bite, and he's got a leather jacket, and he could just put it on and wear it for protection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he can't deny he likes the jacket and everything. So,
Maybe that feeling of blood being back on his face kind of
Yeah.
kicked him into, like, a killing spree or something.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Negan that we had before was only that way because he had lost hope in humanity, in the way that things were, that it couldn't work that way again. And that in his twisted mind, he was trying to, as a savior, rebuild society and all this stuff. But Rick showed him that it was possible, and him being there for that extended period of time in prison convinced him that, hey, this is possible. So I'm going to get behind this.
So much
That's
so that he
why-
was taking the mom and the kid to Alexandria.
Or Hilltop.
Hilltop.
Yeah. He said there was a mansion in the middle.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wouldn't
her-
go near Alexandria, they'll shoot him.
Hmm.
Or
True.
spear him, whatever. His head would end up on a pike.
yeah.
But I think so. He put on the jacket and Lucille because he lost hope, and he's putting him back on because he has hope, and he doesn't want the communities to fall. Because like the last remnants of everything I was trying to build is here, but now it's better, and they've made it 10 years, 7 years, whatever time.
Yeah,
And
11. Oh, Judith is like 11 or something.
whatever time holes, whatever time holes and wormholes they have thrown at us and not given us a year or a date. Give me a date.
Yeah, because we weren't the only ones that were wondering about the Alpha 7-year backstory thing.
So, whatever
Yeah.
about that. But yeah, he has hope, so he's like, well, I'm gonna go and see what I can do. Maybe I can put this bat to use. And I mean, he went to the border where they found the barbed wire walkers.
Yeah.
The one that was trapped in barbed wire. He started busting stuff up, started saying little pigs, and lo and behold, the big old swine came a calling.
And lo and behold, he's literally like walking around looking. There's what's obviously stage lights shining down on this clearing to make it clear. But I mean, like, he was walking, looking right there, turned around, starts saying stuff, turns back around, there's like 7 walkers right there. And Beta is coming out of the woods. It's like, I know I complained about it being really dark and I couldn't see anything, but you didn't have to take it to the other extreme. Like, it's feeling a little contrived
Staged.
for it. It's just hard to believe, and I guess like I shouldn't critique a show that's about zombies.
But it's still fun. But we did learn that Negan set himself free.
Yeah.
So he did escape on his own. It wasn't Gabriel. He wasn't even Brandon. It wasn't Lydia.
No. Which is
So that's
Wait, what?
interesting.
How did we learn that?
Well, because at the very beginning, remember Brandon said something about he had to catch up or whatever, but he did say, "Oh, you got out. I saw that you got out or something."
Well, he said, "How did you get out?"
did he?
I don't know.
He was asking him how he got out. I don't think
Oh, I
that
thought that he
changed
said
the
that-
fact that he got himself out.
Oh, I thought that it was that he had gotten himself out, but I mean, maybe not.
I don't think Lydia was lying when she said she let him out. Oh, but Daryl did say,
Yeah.
I was on watch all
Yeah.
night. You didn't leave.
Yeah.
Heard.
So
forgot about
I
that.
think the Lydia thing is just like she's like, well, this is what you want. I'll
Yeah.
be your martyr. I'll be your scapegoat. And Daryl just realizing that she was in the most safe place in the thing, except that how could he leave her alone? Like, why didn't he just take her to Hilltop with him?
Yeah. It doesn't matter that he's looking for Negan. Like, now
'Cause
she's just in
maybe
jail.
He didn't want to risk something happening. Because, I mean, with him out there by himself, like just him and Dog, he knows, okay, I can go, like, traverse the woods and I'll be fine. But he doesn't want to.
Sadiq was with him.
But why wouldn't he take Lydia to Hilltop anyway? Well, then Earl's just going to kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Earl will just
Or
punch
take her
in
to
the mouth.
Oceanside.
They'll throw a spear at her.
Oh,
true.
yeah. I was about
I don't
to say
know.
that-
She can't go anywhere, but
All
she
right,
can't
cool.
stay in Alexandria.
Stay in the
not
cage.
without Daryl protecting. Like, what is he doing? Like, he's vouching for this girl, yet he's just leaving her high and dry over and over again.
Because Michonne's gone to Oceanside. The
Mm-hmm.
only person that's there in Alexandria is Carol. I
And
guess.
Gabe.
And Gabriel.
Well, he said
Yeah.
he asked Sadiq asked Dante over the radio if Gabe was back yet, and he said no.
Yeah.
So
who-
Gabe's not there either.
Yeah.
Aaron's on patrol.
Ain't nobody protecting Lydia. Nobody.
Maybe
Like
someone's.
Carol. Well, I mean, there was that scene last year in the storm where Carol stopped Lydia from killing herself.
'Cause it's
but
a worse punishment
Carol's in
than
a weird
death.
place right now, though.
Yeah. And Carol's like, well, I think Carol's still like, Lydia's my key to Alpha. If I ever, need to use her, that's plan C.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because Carol's all about the long con.
yeah.
Another thing with at the very end where they're getting ready to go, and they're in the horse barn, and Sadiq is there, not having a moment or anything, just getting his horse ready. Like,
it's dark. It seems like the same time of day kind of thing. Like you would think that it would freak him out.
Even if it's not the same horse barn.
Yeah.
Like
A spider
a horse
freaked
barn.
him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just no big
I don't
deal.
know. Maybe he's on
I thought that
drugs
was
now.
kind of a...
Maybe
know.
just talking about it made him feel better.
Yeah.
Talking about it or
Talking to
Sadiq
Ezekiel and his
is-
boil.
Boy, howdy. That thing. I mean, Sadiq
Like a
could be...
goita.
Sadiq could be, you know, he could
Timmy
be
Turner's friend.
kind
The talking boil.
that evil talking boil. Sadiq, I mean, this could be like the start of an underlying problem that we don't see coming or they don't want us to see coming. Or he could just be fine.
Yeah. And I did want to say also about like Dante, like the whole calling them gods in the apocalypse and that kind of thing. Like I thought he was kind of a creep. But after his like sit down with Sadiq and everything and his everything's just on pause till God gets home. Or, you know, the universe is on pause till God gets back. Which might be a reference to Preacher. I don't know. Which it's another show on AMC.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, because I'm not going to spoil Preacher, but yeah, I get that.
So, but I think Dante, in his own way, is trying to make Sadiq feel needed. He's important, you know, that kind of thing. He's trying to, hey man, you know.
Yeah.
But why did they leave at night? Nothing was important enough for Sadiq and Daryl to go back at night except to find Negan. Like with the whispers at night.
That was a weird time to leave. And like, I mean,
He even said we were going to leave tomorrow, and then he bumps it up just because Rosita got a little cold. It's like, you left her there with zombies walking around?
yeah,
You
Dante
didn't
said
care.
she was fine anyway.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. He's a doctor.
Yeah.
And plus, you were like, I had to get away from Alexandria because there's weird stuff going on in my head. But you were only going to be gone
yeah, and
like
you went
2
to Hilltop
days.
where
Yeah.
the freaking isn't that where the carnival? No, it was at the
Well,
Kingdom.
Kingdom,
Okay.
which is not open anymore.
Yeah.
Because it burnt.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's where the fair happened.
Yeah.
Not at Hilltop. Gotcha.
Hilltop got that tree fell. Tree fell.
Yep.
But I mean, it's Sadiq. It's a weird thing. It's, I guess like Alexandria is his trigger, but even though it didn't happen in Alexandria.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think it's because he keeps seeing Lydia.
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, Lydia being his trigger, that
That would have been an interesting storyline for Sadiq and Lydia to be there with Daryl.
Yeah.
And just like that I mean, I think that would have been interesting. I don't know where they're going with the Sadiq storyline, but that would have been interesting to see him have to kind of deal with it with having to be with Lydia on the road.
And that would make his progress seem better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he coped with it or something. But
Yeah.
We'll
For him
see.
to be like I've said since the beginning, I don't want to see two factions go up against each other, not at full strength.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And only win because one is just not just hobbling along. You know, outside of inflicted on each other, like the whispers, you know, like the little nicks, and like
nicks.
that's fair. Like I want that. But as far as like they're having personal issues, so they lose because they're not at full power, because they're not themselves.
you mean like
I
Carol causing the war because we saw the sneak peek for next week and she wants to go wipe out the horde on her own, so she's the whole cause of all of this anyway.
Well, I mean, I get that there are consequences for their actions and what they're going through. I'm fine with that. I don't want to see the Whisperers like built up as these big bads, but they only fall because Alpha is having personal issues and doesn't
I
lead
get
as
that.
well, you know.
Because it seems anticlimactic if that's
Exactly,
what happens.
yeah.
I get that. I don't know.
And that takes
man.
the victory away from the victor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carol going to take matters into her own hands. Like, you would think that she would have learned that never works out for her.
Yeah.
It hasn't. She's killed couples multiple times, and it's never worked out.
I don't know. I mean, when she saved them from the what was the people that ate from Terminus, like when she came back and she handled it, like
By
she handled
chance, though, that wasn't okay, that was different when, like, they needed saving out, like, they were kidnapped. They were actually being held, and she needed to come save them. That's different than deciding for a group that has a choice. I'm going to take it upon myself and possibly ruin and possibly kill a bunch of people.
I get that. Like, from that point of view, yes, I agree with you.
It's way different.
Yes, you're right. Okay. I do see that, yeah.
I'm not excited for what comes with that, but I also understand that something has to propel it to this mass hysteria of war and battles, and I get that that's where they're going with it. And something has to prompt that. But come on, Carol.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also couldn't see it being anybody else, so I guess it has to be her.
Yeah. So I want to know, because a couple weeks ago, Angela Kang teased that Negan would meet Beta this season. And so we've seen him meet Beta. What happens in the comics? Like, what can we potentially expect? Of course, they're going to remix it, but...
Yeah. So, basically, Negan is, in the comics at this point, Negan will be a double agent. They send him to go infiltrate the Whisperers. Make the Whisperers think that he's one of them. You can trust me. I can help you get in there. I can help you not only just get in there, I can help you wipe them out. You never have to worry about them again. Because they've made my life a living hell type of thing. But Negan...
so he's like putting on Negan one last time.
Yeah.
Ooh,
he gets in there, he charms Alpha, gets Alpha so comfortable with him that she tells Beta, when Beta's like, no, you can't trust him, what are you doing? She tells Beta to sit down. Beta's like, fine, whatever, but okay. And then Negan, gets his alone time with Alpha, and when he does, he cuts her head off.
Boom.
And then,
that little machete she got.
yeah. So, I mean, let's to see what they're going to do here will be interesting. I mean, obviously in the...
3 episodes left until
this season.
The break.
Yeah. Obviously, in the sneak peek for the next episode, they said, Alpha's like, well, let's see if we can trust him, test him. And you see Negan and Beta walking. Beta already doesn't like Negan. They're probably going to fight, I hope, because we'll see. I'm really interested in seeing how Negan, because I don't know about y'all, does Jeffrey Dean Morgan just look like, do you think he got skinny just to play Negan, who's been in jail for a long time?
I don't know. He's looking pretty thin, though.
Yeah. He's
like, every time I see him, I'm just like, this is the same guy that played the comedian.
Yeah.
Like, he's a big dude.
And now he's kind of, you can still tell he used to be big at some point, but he just kind of looked like he lost muscle tone.
Yeah, and he could potentially be doing this for The Walking Dead. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, he's popped up in other movies like, Rampage and, things like that. So, I mean, he's doing other stuff, but this is his main gig right now. So maybe that's where he's putting his effort and making it like, hey, this is, Negan is a shell of a man he used to be.
Which, if he is, that makes sense, because Negan hasn't just been in his cell working out like prison rules. He's been, he's just been kind of in there just chilling, living life the best he can with what he has. So for him to be looking not as strong as he was would make sense.
Yeah. So I think, he was strong enough to bash a dude's head in with a rock. And Brandon wasn't small by any means. He did sneak up on him and get the upper hand pretty quick.
Negan's getting up there in age, too.
He crushed his skull in with his foot, so he can't be super weak or anything
like that. Took one of those flimsy bus doors and
crushed a dude. Yeah. I wonder if he's going to, lose the first battle with Beta maybe on purpose or in reality to seem more weak, or maybe for us to think, wow, he's really lost it. Like, he's not Negan anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. The way they set up the cliffhanger it looks like he's about to go at it with Beta. But, like when you see the next episode teaser, it seems like he's trying to be taken in as one of them. Beta's obviously I don't trust him.
And he doesn't look roughed up. Beta doesn't look banged up. So I guess it's something like.
Yeah, and they let him keep the bat So I mean, he still got the bat. So I mean, I don't feel like if he tried to actually kill some of their people
that they would let him
he'd
integrate.
He'd be either dead or tied up somewhere.
Yeah.
Or become a new guardian.
Yeah,
Like
because
a little Negan guardian.
Beta doesn't seem like he suffers fools easily.
No.
So
he just right in the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Real quick though, why did Brandon just know where Lucille and his jacket were?
Well, he said that he had to scrounge around. It took him a while to find it.
Okay, but
and it's a different Lucille because remember he said when Negan was being attacked by the Walker, he was like wrapping it for him.
he made him a new Lucille.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Hardwick on The Talking Dead call it Two Seal.
Two Seal?
Yeah.
The second Lucille.
So then what did they do with the original one, I wonder?
We still don't know. Michonne's got it somewhere.
I mean, because we said,
has it. No, I'm just kidding.
in the teaser this past summer from Comic-Con, like the end of it, like she was holding the bat right to the thing, and I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point where they've gone to the effort of giving him a new identical one, like I don't see the purpose of even bringing out the old one anymore.
Because it's the original one. It's the one he made for his, that he named. Like, it may look the same, but it ain't got Glenn's brains on it.
Wow. Okay.
So.
But, I don't know. I mean, why does he even need it back now? Because
unless somebody tries
Negan,
to kill him with it, which would be ironic justice.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I even think that the new Lucille represents the new Negan too.
Yeah.
You know.
But I feel like this one's gonna get broke. In all honesty, I feel like someone's just gonna take this bat and go over their knee. That hurts. Don't try in real life. But yeah.
Or Maggie comes back and sees that they haven't done anything with Negan yet, and she thinks that he's part of the Whisperers, and she's got the bat, and she's just like, I'm going to kill you, and tries to bash his brains in with his own bat. Which would be the only reason that I think that they would bring it back. Because otherwise, you're right, I don't see the benefit of it.
Yeah, because at first it almost seemed like he went out there to die, you know. But he's got bigger plans.
I don't think he went out there to die. I think he went out there to survive. Just be on his own, find a place to stay, make it safe, and just live there. To keep living because he's not the kind of person to just go die.
Yeah, I don't think.
But I think
he's too
after
proud.
the Brandon situation, then he was like, you know what, I'm not about that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, Brandon actually kind of gave him clarity.
Yeah.
You know.
In a weird.
When he was just like,
way.
because he was just trying to escape and get safe, and then he was just like, you know what? No, this is worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Tell us what you guys think.
Absolutely.
What do you think Negan's going to do? What do you think? Is he actually going to fight Beta? Is he going to infiltrate? What is that word?
Integrate?
Infiltrate. I don't know why my brain wasn't working. Infiltrate the Whisperers and take them down from within? What's going to happen?
Yep. Of course, it's going to remix. And we've got next on The Walking Dead, next episode, we talked about the teaser. It's called Bonds. And Carol and Daryl go on a mission together while Sadiq struggles to solve a mystery.
The mystery of why you're okay now?
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, they didn't... In the teaser, I didn't see anything... Of course, I only watched a couple times. But I didn't see anything that stands out as far as, like, what is going on for the Sadiq end of this. Unless he gets back to Alexandria and is trying to figure out how Negan got out, maybe. And that's what he's trying to get to the bottom of. But the way they're teasing it, it's a mystery. So, I mean, I'm expecting more, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like Lydia said, Carol takes Daryl out, and they're going to destroy the Horde. And,
See how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, it
ain't gonna go well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, otherwise it would just be the last episode.
Yeah.
But Daryl even says, hey, we screw this up and we screw everybody.
Yeah.
So.
I know that Daryl's not about this, but he also doesn't want to cut ties with Carol.
Yeah, he can't let Carol go out on her own.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it could be worse.
A
For
lot
one.
worse.
That's
Burn
true.
down a whole forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright.
Anything else?
I missed the sneak peek for Talking Dead. We all did. It was just kind of playing in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've got any more information or any speculation that you want to chime in on, we really appreciate that. So just let us know in the comments below. Hit us up and on Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, wherever. All that information is in the description below. And also, don't forget to check out if you want to support the show, there's a link down in the description as well. You can go get the Broken Dead t-shirts and things like that. And anything else, guys? All right. So thanks for joining us. We hope you'll join us. What? I'm sorry.
I said that's it. That's all.
Okay,
Sorry.
so yeah, we hope you'll join us live every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time here on YouTube. And please like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon
Ding.
so you know when we drop a new video. And podcast listeners, please leave us 5 stars in your podcast app. And I do want to apologize for podcast listeners. I'm having some issues uploading it. That's why it hasn't been up there for the past couple weeks. But I'm going to get that resolved as soon as possible. Was having some issues with the first couple episodes, got it resolved, but now it's messing up again. So I got to figure that out. So, yep, you'll just have to watch the show or play it in the background until I do. I apologize. But also check out the website at www.broken.picturesno.com. And this is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
This is Quin.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.